I was looking to others for the permission to be accepted. The moment I woke up wasn't loud. It wasn't a big, bold aha moment. It was after a workout at the gym, and I went out to my car, and I had a beautiful new 4Runner at the time. And I looked at myself in the reflection, and I just asked myself, why can't I just be happy? I thought that there was something so wrong with me, and that happiness was something that I wasn't worthy of. I thought that happiness was for other people, and I thought that I was too broken on the inside to feel worthy. Because when I saw what I had on the outside, I had the nice car, I had the gym membership, I had a nice home it was a Victorian home with a huge wraparound porch. I had a photo studio that was big and beautiful with north-facing, floor-to-ceiling windows. I had everything. Beautiful children, everybody was happy, but I didn't have myself. And because I didn't have myself, because I didn't know that I was allowed to take up space just in my own being, that I felt unworthy. I was looking to others for the permission to be accepted, to belong. And because I was lacking this inside, every place I turned to, I was having that reflected back to me. And I didn't understand because I was reading the self-help books. I was listening to Brené Brown. I was listening to Oprah's Super Soul Sundays. I was doing all the things. And I was really broken on the inside. So everything that I was listening to and trying to comprehend, I was comprehending it through a broken lens. I was comprehending it through pieces of a puzzle that didn't have all the pieces. So what happened was, this was at the beginning of COVID. And of course, what happened during COVID with a lot of couples and a lot of things is we had to pause. So I no longer had a business to run. I no longer had an Airbnb to run. I started meditating, and I started journaling and started reading Course in Miracles, and I started learning about joy and happiness in a way that wasn't something that you see on TV and you want to emulate. It's something that you feel on the inside, and it's just like a muscle. You have to train yourself to feel the feelings of joy and happiness and worthiness and self-acceptance. This isn't something that you can listen to, even though thank you for listening. It has something to do with the inside. It's all inside. And for me, that wake-up call of unhappiness was truly what started a journey into happiness. And I realized that this box that I had put myself in, voluntarily put myself in, nobody put me there, was so small, and I was so stuck in it because I was afraid of hurting other people's feelings. I was afraid of being heard, not because of my voice, but I was afraid of rejection of my own feelings. I was afraid that if I spoke my truth, made decisions for me, that the people that I love the most wouldn't validate me and I would be left with nothing. That was my biggest fear. And turns out my biggest fear of some sort, it came true. I began to use my voice. I began to follow my bliss, and I began to feel what it would feel like outside of this box that I had put myself in. And I remember being so scared and feeling so alone. And I just wanted to stay in this box, but there was this huge piece of me that was pushing me out of it. And it didn't matter how uncomfortable that box was. All I wanted to do was get back inside. But this is what happens, is you keep knocking on the door, and eventually somebody answers, and the door opens, and there's no going back. And I did lose the house. I did lose the photo studio. I voluntarily gave up the gym membership, and I lost my family and my husband and everything that I knew. And I did it because I started putting myself first. And I did it because I realized that I am worthy of so much more than this small being that has no voice, that has no representation. I had to become my own advocate, and I had to be my own guidance system. For so long, I relied on everybody else to be my guidance system. And what happened when I gave myself permission is that my whole life opened up to me. This is the joyful, amazing part about choosing yourself, about giving yourself permission, is that the world opens up to you in a way that you never knew existed, because I believe that your vibration, what you give out from within, gives back to you that same vibration. So when I was sad, feeling unworthy, and feeling sick, all I was getting back was that representation. When I started my life over, when I got my new apartment and I started dancing in my kitchen, and my son and I started developing a relationship that was so unlike anything that we'd ever had before, because I was giving myself permission to be happy, and I was also giving himself permission to be happy. And these things just happen. I was on a walk one day because walks make me really happy. And I met another photographer who happened to be a Facebook friend, and we started talking on Facebook, and it's been 2.5 years, and now he's my boyfriend. And we have these amazing conversations, and we build each other up. And I have people in my life that just build me up, and I build them up. And it's not because of some sort of lack. It's because of this feeling of enjoyment, of I am enough. I am giving from this overflow of energy. I'm not giving because I feel like I need to in order to keep the peace, in order to keep my place. I have had to break through so many fears, and I will continue to break through fears. And I hope you continue to break through fears, because what happens, again, it's a muscle. This fear breaking muscle, it just has to be used. I believe that everything we want in life is on the other side of that fear, and fear is just here to teach us a lesson. And I want you to know that if you are going through some hard things right now, if you are looking around at your life and you're like, oh my gosh, this is not who I thought I would be at 40, at 45, at 50, then take some time and write out what you want your life to look like. What would it feel like when you wake up in the morning and you have the life of your dreams? It is possible. You can have more joy, more alignment, more freedom, more depth in your life. Like what more could you ask for? My brand new life did not happen overnight. And I don't want you to think that just because you start writing out your goals and your dreams and you start feeling what it would feel like, that everything is going to change tomorrow. But things do change. If you've been a certain way for a long time, obviously there's a lot of energy that's wrapped up into that cycle, and it takes time to slow it down and to start a new cycle, but it can be done. So if you've ever felt like your dreams are unrealistic, inconvenient, or it's too late, I want you to know that it's never too late. And I want you to ask yourself, what if I gave permission to want more? It's in that question that your next chapter is going to begin. And it's within that question that these seeds that you're planting today are going to take root and grow. So please subscribe if you're on this journey. Know that you're not alone. I also have a free permission slip workbook download that you can take and use and really just start understanding what your soul is here to do and what will make you the happiest you can be. Because when you are happy, everybody around you is going to be happier as well. Thank you.